This game is called the Event Puddle. In this game, the player picks a situation in their life and then explores that situation. The guide helps the player by saying more detail, more feeling. So, will the player please tell us a situation that you want to explore?
I'm going to be exploring something that happened to me yesterday. I went to a restaurant, I can't remember what it was called, the Blue Goose or the Blue Heron or the Blue Sparrow or whatever, and I didn't like this place at all. You walk in the door, it was very gloomy inside, and a lot of very expensively dressed people sitting around and sipping cocktails. But Nancy,
how do you feel about that? Give me more feeling.
Well, I didn't like the place. Like I said, it was gloomy and it was depressing and it was pretentious. But Nancy took me outside, down the corridor, and boom, we were on a deck. And on the deck, there was a table with 4 kids sitting and eating supper. And it was wonderful. And before we knew it, we were taking orders, and the man who took them turned out to be Henri, who is Francais. And he is speaking Francais to me, and I don't have a chance to speak French ever. So here I am at the Blue Heron speaking French, which is exactly where I want to be.
Speak French now.
Alors, je lui ai dit, qu'est-ce que vous faites en France? Et il m'a dit que j'ai fait la marine et je suis ici, je demeure à Adelaide et j'ai 2 jeunes filles. So that was perfect. And we ordered a lot of French food and beer from England, and it came out perfectly. And before we finished, the mother of one of these children came up and explained who the parents were and who the children were. And at the end, on my way out the door, I gave Henry my card and I said, "Quand vous voulez parler français, appelle-moi." And I hope he does, because I'd like to speak more French with Henry.
Period. The next game we're going to play, as the player, this game is called Let It Speak. And I'm going to ask from someone, anyone out there, to give me an object or something other than a human being. Just give me something other.
Ping pong ball.
A ping pong ball. I will let it speak. You think it's easy? I got to tell you, life for me is a pain in both sides of my... Oh, a winner! Hip hooray! He's a winner. Oh, no, he's not a winner. Thank you very much. And the Chinese are winning again, as they always win. And it doesn't matter who plays against them. They invented the word ping and pong. And here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
It was about a young boy who was trying to find his mother. And
what was the name of it?
It was called Harold and the Locket.
What happened to his mom?
Well, one day he woke up and she was gone. And his sister was too young to really know what was going on.
And was the direction good?
The direction was really good.
Where did they go to? What kind of adventures did they have?
They lived in a small town that was mostly rural, and so they started out walking along, and they came to this gate, and it was their town was surrounded by stone, like a brick wall, and so.
And this is in Technicolor.
It's in Technicolor. It's the colors are like really bright.
Was there music in this film? Soundtrack?
There was a soundtrack. It was very like Howard Zinn, like very kind of like Lord of the Rings, and so when they went on the adventure, it was like dun, 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 and at the end it was really sad.
So do you think it's kind of working with this fantasy world and also with real life? Or like,
yeah, it was. It was very because it made it because part part of it was fantasy. You couldn't tell whether or not it was real or not, but it played into the fact that it was from this boy's perspective.
Was it a real movie?
No.
You made the whole thing up, right?
Yeah.
Right.
It wasn't real?
No.
I wish it was real. It sounds awesome.
That was really good.
We start with an emotion called, let's say, glee, and then we begin with a line, and then we add a line, and then we say the line, and round and round and round we go. So the line I'd like to begin with is, who'd ever thought he would be able to do that?
Who would ever have thought he'd be able to do that? I mean, the guy was literally like putting his feet up past his head and doing this weird pretzel thing.
Who would ever think that he would do that? Is he going to eat his toes? Or is he going to eat his elbows? Or what is he going to do next?
Who'd have ever thought that monkeys could bend that way?
Who'd ever thought that someone would have the courage to do that in public?
Who would ever have thought that we would all be standing here watching someone do that in public?
Yeah, and who would ever think that somebody's going to pay money to see this charade?
Who'd have ever thought that so many people would actually come?
Who'd have ever thought that a game like, or an object like Facebook would actually do what it did? This is the new Facebook. Yeah. Period.
Cut.
All right. How this experience was for you. Life play. You played tonight for the first time.
Yeah, I played Life-Play for the first time. It was my first time doing improv, actually, at all. And it was really great because I tend to be very socially awkward and anxious. It was just a really fun way to get to know new people and explore new situations without feeling like I was always making mistakes. Because there was nothing to make mistakes on.
Thank you. David, how was tonight for you?
Well, I find that when I go into the past to play the emotional puzzle game, there's nothing there. And then all of a sudden, it pops up, and more pops up, and more pops up, and I realized I had a very full week. I didn't realize it. So I'm learning from life play what my life is really about.
Rebecca, how was life play for you tonight?
It was amazing. I felt like I could really just release like all these things I felt inside, and it was fun. It was fun, like, you know, hanging out and playing with people and feeding off what they have to say, and, you know, learning new things and learning things about yourself.
Nancy.
I also want to say that Michael Golding in Los Angeles plays this game with 30 people in a classroom, 30 teenagers. Jeez. And he puts one of them in the role of the actor, the player, and almost all the rest are gods.
This game can be played literally by young and old. And for those of us who are in our senior years, it gives us a chance to keep our wits sharp. And so we especially call upon seniors or shut-ins or people who are differently abled to think about joining with us on Life Play so that you can use your imagination and your creativity unlimited by your current situation. Be big, be brave, play with us. Life Play.